Section number 2, exclusion from these prohibitions. And of course, we're going to see that there are many exclusions and many things. If you plan correctly, if you prepare in advance, so you can do many things on Shabbos. Of course, we're talking about, of course, only permitted activities. We're not talking about any melacha that is forbidden on Shabbos. Nobody is still talking about. We're talking about permitted activities. So the topic is Schar Shabbos Bechalval Law. So meaning like swallowing or something. In Shabbos earning included, including with the weekly earnings. Okay, the sages prohibit only the earnings of the compensation specifically for the service provided on Shabbos. It is permitted to receive lump sum compensation for a job that is performed during weekday and Shabbos. The rule is often misunderstood as a meaning that if employee did work on a weekday, he can collect wages for the work that he did on Shabbos, as long as both payments made together. However, that is incorrect. The primary criterion for the permissibility is that the work performed during the week and performed on Shabbos must be part of the single job, for which one payment is given. There must be a firm understanding between the parties that neither of them can renege on the agreement after only part of the work is done. Thus, if employee backs out midway, he will be liable thus, if the employer backs out midway, he would be liable for entire wage. Only in such a case where the payment for Shabbos is intertwined with the payment for the weekday, the Shabbos earnings are permitted. Let's split it into. Right, it's very long, so let's split it into. Again, so now we're talking when our topic is Shabbos earning included in the weekday. Right, so again, the sages prohibited only the earnings compensation specifically for the service provided on Shabbos. So for one day, we cannot hire anybody. Okay, so it must be, of course, we're going to see some exception, but the general rule, it should be a Shabbos and other days as well. There are exceptions, we're going to see. It is permitted to receive lump sum compensation for a job that performs during the weekday and Shabbos. So meaning that a person is a waiter and he works for this caterer, five days a week, for example, including Shabbos. A lot of jobs. I'm not sure. In a big city, there is no problem, right? Where really people can walk. Maybe it's a little be a longer walk, but maybe I'm just guessing. So he has many choices, and he can hire Jews who live closer to the place where they have event. Also possible. So meaning a person would not need to work like 2 hours or something each way. Okay. So meaning what? That the person is going to work on weekdays for these 5 days, including Shabbos. So this boss would say, for example, if you're not going to work all of 5 days, quit. I'm going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you. I need somebody reliable that is going to work all these days. So it's very interesting. Okay. So continue. It is permissible to receive lump sum compensation for a job. So he's not getting paid for 5 days, right? He's getting paid for a week. A week could be 3 days, 3 working days, or 6 working days, or 7 working days. There is no problem, right? So he's not being paid for 3 days, but he's being paid for a week, meaning one lump sum. Okay. This rule is often misunderstood, and it is true, and most people think like this, as we're going to see. The rule is often misunderstood, meaning that the employee did work on a weekday, and he can collect wages for the work did on Shabbos, as long as the payment main payments are made together. So many people think. So if you worked 3 days, right? 3 days, and then they call you on Shabbos, right? Usually on Shabbos you don't have job, but this time you do. So and you can collect this money, right? Which is absolutely wrong. Okay. Right. So if employer pays together for all of the jobs, right? So it is allowed, which is not true. However, that is incorrect. The primary criterion for permissibility is that the work performed during the week is week, and that performed on Shabbos must be part of the single job, for which one payment is given. So meaning part of it on during the week, and part of it on Shabbos. So then it's going to be permitted. It could be some project, right? Whatever project is. For example, maybe for this example, that somebody had a wedding on Thursday, and they have Sheva brachas, so 7 blessings. So and they use the same caterer. So the same caterer say, yeah, you must work all these days, or I'm not going to pay you. So I need somebody reliable. It's very remote community, or whatever is it, right? If you're not going to show up, I'm not going to pay you, even for the wedding, right? So that's the agreement. Okay, or opposite is true. If this employer said, look, I don't need you, they cancel, doesn't matter. He has to pay the employee. That means part of the same job. Or in another situation, if job was started before Shabbos, so meaning the waiters would come, they would bring equipment. This the ovens were warming up. Ovens, they would set up the table, chairs, this and that. So technically, when it's big event, they would start preparing. I don't know, in the afternoon. Right, if even if event like 5, not 5, I don't know, like 6-7 p.m. Let's say they're going to do Kabbalah Shabbos there, and they have going to have Shabbat brachas. Let's say on Shabbos in a special hall. Yeah, these people would need 3-4 hours to set up, to this, to that. Yeah, a lot of things to do. Okay. Right. So in this case, it would be one lump sum. For example, so what people did before Shabbos, and during the Shabbos, and after Shabbos. So after Shabbos, somebody have to clean the place, let's say, and plus take these ovens and bring to the catering hall, or to the catering place. All these dirty dishes, somebody have to collect. Somebody have to take out the garbage, this and that. A million and a half things. Right, so in this case, yes, they are part of the same job. So meaning if a person worked on Friday night and did not show up on, for example, they did all of the preparations, let's say, and did not do anything on Friday, when Friday night when Shabbos starts, like who needs them? Like the guy, the boss is not going to pay. Or he did a Friday night and did not come on Shabbos morning because he overslept, and they did not have a person. It was a disaster. Okay, so he's not going to pay. Okay, so that's what it means. The part of the same job. But some people, or many people, unfortunately think that if he worked on Monday and Thursday and Shabbos, so he can get paid. Absolutely not. There must be a firm understanding between the parties that neither of them can renege on agreement, neither of them, nor boss nor employee, right? After only part of the work is done. Thus, if employer backs out in the midway, will be liable for entire wage. Okay, so you told me that I'm going to get paid such and such amount. So and then we came there. We prepare this and that, and guess what? They say they cancel. Okay, they cancel, but pay me. Maybe then this means they come with I don't know, maybe with inflatable beds or something. I don't know what they do, and they can stay in the hole basically, right? Continue. Only in such a case where the payment for Shabbos is intertwined with the payment for the weekday, the Shabbos earnings are permitted. Okay, so very, very simple. Only if it's part of the same job. Okay, this allowance applies even if most of the work is done on Shabbos, as long as it is included arrangement whereby some work must be done before or after Shabbos. So, and it's very important addition, clarification. So it need not to be like 50-50 before Shabbos and half of job on Shabbos. No, could be like before Shabbos some preparation, and then they do Friday night, and then Shabbos morning. Usually that's what they do. I mean, if you invite so many people, you're going to feed them only at night, not in the morning. Not a good idea, right? You have to be a good host. Feed them. Continue. According to some poskim, it is permissible to accept payment for the service provided only on Shabbos if the service requires some preparatory work before Shabbos, or if an expense were accrued because of the service performed on Shabbos. The payment for this service done on Shabbos is added to the payment for the preparatory work or the reimbursement for the expenses, and therefore considered to be included with the weekday payment. To illustrate, it is permitted, according to this poskim, for a teacher to accept compensation for tutoring student on Shabbos if the tutoring requires special preparation before Shabbos, or it required to purchase specialized teaching material, and the tutor received the one large payment. Okay, so let's go back and try to understand. Okay, so again, okay, so there is some poskim. It's right. I'm not sure what is the percentage wise, but that doesn't matter. So it's very, very important poskim. So they actually say that you can collect money for the work on Shabbos if you did some preparatory work before Shabbos. So what does it mean? For example, you had to prepare this chazan, person, Bal Koreh, the person who reads from the Torah. We don't see him any other days during the week, but in order for him to read beautifully from the Sefer Torah, he has to know cantillation, the notes, the tune, this and that, and read without mistakes. Yeah, so he needs a lot of preparation. Of course, depends on his experience, but he has to review 1 time, 2 times, I don't know, 7 times, as many as they need, right? So we pay him for this preparation and for his reading, right? So that's a combination. Or somebody had some expenses; he had to buy something in order to do this job that is needed on Shabbos. Okay. So an example that we gave: a teacher needs to buy some books, or maybe make copies like for everybody in a class, like right, something like that, hands out, no problem. So he's going to be compensated for his reimbursed, I would say, right? Reimbursed for his expenses, and plus paid for his tutoring, right? And it's going to be one lump sum. So we don't count how many copies he made and how much it cost, right? So next section, subsection, hiring someone on Shabbos. Although Shabbos earnings are permitted, if the payment is included in the weekday earnings, it is prohibited to hire someone on Shabbos itself if compensation is stipulated. This pertains even though the compensation will be given together with the weekday earnings. So it's very important. So one more time. So we cannot hire somebody on Shabbos. So if, as I said before, if you stipulate before Shabbos, it's a little different, right? I mean, a little different meaning that if you have time to prepare for all of the detail, you have time to talk over about all the details. Right. So here, when you hire somebody on Shabbos, only on Shabbos it is forbidden, even if this person is working for you. Right. He's working for you for 5 days. Right. And you need him to do something like similar work on Shabbos. It is prohibited to hire him because it's not it is a separate job. What we said in this catering hall when he started before Shabbos and continue on Shabbos and comes back after Shabbos, that's a different story. That's absolutely different story, right? Because it's part of the same job. But here, as we said, it's not. Okay. So even if a person is going to get paid together, one lump sum for the whole week is not allowed. Okay. So of course we're going to see how is it exceptions, right? Exceptional, or I would say maybe it's not except, but the right way of doing things. Okay. Next one, rentals. The rule described above applies also to rentals. It is permissible to rent out one's possession on Shabbos if the rental includes pre or post Shabbos period and one payment is made for entire period. According to the opinion of the poskim mentioned above, it is permitted to rent out one's property exclusively for Shabbos if some preparatory work is required before Shabbos, or if some expenses are included due to this rental. Okay. So again, before that, we said the rentals are forbidden if it's only on Shabbos. But on another hand, according to this poskim, if a person incurs expenses, so that's or they had to do something before Shabbos, there is no problem. So the best classic example, of course, is a hotel room, right? In order for you to move into this hotel room, they have to do preparatory work. They have to change the bed sheets. They have to clean the bathroom. Do all of this, give you clean towels. So all of this cleaning was before you moved in, right? So for sure it was before Shabbos. So basically they invested invested into this room, into your rental, right? So when you and then plus after you leave, that they also have to do some work. So it is Shabbos plus right, preparatory or after person leaves. Okay. So that's in this case, yes, it is allowed. Okay. Okay. But again, even when person moves into a hotel room, usually they move in before Shabbos, so of course it's always it's actually a classic example. If you move in on Friday night and then you cancel in the morning, say no, I don't like it, I want to move on. Nobody's going to give you money back, right? So it's understandable, right? Between two parties that if you're going to renege on a deal, it's the money is gone. Okay. So first question, if there is a source online where you can rent out your car, so will fueling the car beforehand or cleaning it count as a preparatory work if someone wants to rent it on Shabbos? That's a good question. So again, there is a source online where you can rent out your car. I never heard about this source. I mean, that does not say it does not mean anything. Very interesting. But but you have to pay insurance. Somebody have to pay full coverage insurance. I think it would be a lot of money. I think. right? So why otherwise I would not. I mean, I'm not going to give my car to anyone, but even for money, right? There is okay. So fueling the car beforehand or cleaning. It counter preparatory work if someone wants to rent out on Shabbos. That's not such an easy question. I'm not sure. I mean, if a person would clean anyway, right? They clean their car once like every week. So now they change the day from Tuesday to Wednesday, to Friday morning, let's say. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's preparing for them. It's I don't think so. But okay, not sure. Good question. Okay, so let's let's see the next question. Do the expenses before Shabbos, in order to make Shabbos earning permissible, have to be spontaneous, or they may be forced beforehand in order to allow these earnings? It's not okay. I think we have to go in the middle of the road. So again, do these expenses before Shabbos in order to make Shabbos earning permissible to have been spontaneous. I mean, or they may be forced beforehand in order to allow this earnings. I mean, has to be planned. It's like it's not spontaneous and it's not forced. It's planned. Like the best case, the best example, like straightforward example, is this waiter, right? So he like it's part of the job. Start this job before, right? Before Shabbos, right? Because on Shabbos you're not allowed, let's say, plug in this this oven into outlet, so that's why they have to come. They have to plug in, and then it takes, I don't know. I'm just making up numbers, right? 2 hours, 2.5 hours to warm up. So I have to be earlier there, right? Because it took you 2 hours to drive to the place. So until you got there, the food is cold. So you have to warm up, right? So okay. So for sure, like it's not forced, it's planned. But I mean, if you give me example, maybe it would be easier to see. But so far, right? So far, like this. Okay, so it must be planned. It must be like clearly part of the same job. It's not right.